What if I told you that some of your daily habits might be quietly cutting years off your life, without you even realizing it? You may feel perfectly fine now, but deep inside, your body could already be suffering the consequences. Scientists have uncovered 6 seemingly harmless habits that are secretly accelerating aging, increasing the risk of heart disease, memory decline, and even early death. And the worst part? Most people don't even suspect them. Stay with me, because the last habit on this list is something almost everyone does every single day. Aging isn't just about genetics. Studies show that up to 80% of longevity depends on lifestyle choices. That means your daily habits could be either extending your life or silently cutting it short. The scariest part? Most people have no idea they're making these mistakes. Research from the American Heart Association found that certain behaviors can increase the risk of premature death by up to 60%, yet millions of people continue them every single day. And these aren't extreme habits, these are small, seemingly innocent routines that gradually weaken your heart, damage your brain, and accelerate aging from the inside out. The good news? It's never too late to reverse the damage. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 6 habits are putting your health at risk and how to fix them before it's too late. And trust me, the final habit is one you're probably guilty of without even realizing how dangerous it is, so stick around until the end. Sitting too much, the silent killer. You might think that sitting down is harmless, it's comfortable, it's relaxing, and after all, we all need rest, right? But what if I told you that spending too much time sitting could be one of the biggest silent threats to your longevity? Studies have shown that prolonged sitting can increase your risk of heart disease by 147%, raise the chances of developing diabetes, and even shorten your lifespan by up to 7 years. And here's the real kicker, even if you exercise regularly, you can't fully undo the damage caused by excessive sitting. Take John, a 72-year-old retiree who thought he was living a healthy lifestyle. Every morning, he went for a 30-minute walk, then spent most of his day watching TV, reading, or sitting at his desk. He assumed his daily walk was enough to keep him in good shape, until his doctor warned him about his increasing blood pressure and poor circulation. What John didn't realize was that long hours of sitting were slowing his metabolism, weakening his muscles, and even affecting his brain health. And unfortunately, he's not alone. Millions of people unknowingly fall into the same trap. So, why is sitting so dangerous? The human body was designed for movement. When you sit for long periods, your blood circulation slows down, reducing the amount of oxygen reaching your muscles and organs. This leads to muscle loss, stiff joints, and poor posture, making you more prone to falls, injuries, and chronic pain. But that's not all. Sitting for too long also affects your brain. Research from UCLA found that sedentary behavior is linked to thinning of the brain's memory center, increasing the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Think about this. How many hours a day do you spend sitting? Whether it's watching TV, using the computer, or simply relaxing, most people over 60 sit for more than 8 hours a day, without even realizing it. The result? Slower metabolism, weaker muscles, and an increased risk of blood clots, heart attacks, and strokes. But here's the good news, you don't have to become a gym rat to fix this problem. The key is movement frequency, not just exercise. Research shows that standing up and moving every 30 minutes can significantly lower the risks associated with prolonged sitting. Simple habits like standing while talking on the phone, stretching during commercial breaks, or even taking short walks around the house can dramatically improve your health. One easy trick. Try the sit-to-stand test. If you can get up from a chair without using your hands, it's a great sign that your leg strength and mobility are still in good shape. But if you struggle, it might be time to start incorporating more movement into your daily routine. Remember, sitting isn't the enemy, staying still for too long is. So ask yourself, how much time do you spend sitting each day? And more importantly, how often do you break that cycle? Making this one simple change could add years to your life, so why wait? Poor sleep, the fast track to early aging. We all know how important sleep is. But what if I told you that losing just 1 hour of sleep each night could increase your risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even early death? It sounds extreme, but studies have shown that sleep deprivation is one of the biggest accelerators of aging. And here's the worst part, many people over 60 unknowingly sabotage their sleep every single night, thinking it's just a normal part of aging. But poor sleep is not a normal part of getting older, it's a warning sign. Take Margaret, a 75-year-old woman who had always been a night owl. She would stay up late watching TV, scrolling through her phone, and then struggle to fall asleep. Over time, she started feeling more fatigued during the day, her memory became foggy, and she even developed high blood pressure. At first, she blamed it on aging, but when her doctor looked at her sleep patterns, the truth became clear: her poor sleep habits were slowly destroying her health. So, what happens to your body when you don't sleep enough? First, your heart suffers. During deep sleep, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows, and your body repairs itself. But when you don't get enough quality sleep, your heart doesn't get the recovery time it needs, increasing your risk of heart attacks and strokes. In fact, research shows that people who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night are 48% more likely to develop heart disease. And it's not just your heart, your brain is at risk too. Sleep is when your brain clears out toxic waste that builds up throughout the day. When you don't sleep enough, these toxins accumulate, leading to memory loss, brain fog, and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that people who consistently get less than 7 hours of sleep per night have a 33% higher chance of developing dementia. Now, let me ask you, how often do you wake up feeling truly rested? If you find yourself tossing and turning at night, waking up multiple times, or feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep, your body is begging for better rest. But here's the good news: you can fix your sleep and reverse the damage. The first step: limit screen time before bed. The blue light from your phone or TV blocks melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Try turning off screens at least 1 hour before bed and switch to reading a book or listening to relaxing music instead. Second, keep your bedroom cool and dark. Studies show that the ideal sleep temperature is between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. If your room is too warm, it can disrupt your body's natural sleep cycle, making you wake up feeling groggy instead of refreshed. And finally, set a consistent sleep schedule. Your body thrives on routine, so try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. If you're someone who has accepted poor sleep as just a part of life, it's time to change that mindset. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's one of the most powerful tools for longevity. So tonight, before you go to bed, ask yourself, are you giving your body the rest it needs to live a longer, healthier life? If not, start making these small changes now. Your future self will thank you. Eating late at night, a silent killer for your heart and metabolism. Imagine this: it's late in the evening, you've had dinner hours ago, but suddenly you feel a little hungry. You grab a snack, maybe a sandwich, some cookies, or even a bowl of cereal, then head to bed thinking it's harmless. But what if I told you that this simple habit could be silently damaging your heart, spiking your blood sugar, and even increasing your risk of an early death? Take Robert, a 68-year-old man who always had a habit of eating a late-night snack. It started out as something small, just a few crackers or some ice cream before bed. Over time, he found himself feeling more sluggish in the mornings, waking up with heartburn, and struggling with his weight. He assumed it was just part of aging. But when his doctor warned him that his blood sugar levels were dangerously high and his cholesterol had spiked, Robert realized that something had to change. The culprit: his late-night eating habit. So why is eating late so dangerous? The biggest problem is how it affects your body's natural rhythms. Your body follows a biological clock known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates everything from sleep to metabolism. At night, your body expects to rest and repair itself, not digest food. When you eat too late, your body is forced to stay active, processing that food instead of focusing on recovery. This leads to higher blood sugar, increased fat storage, and greater stress on your heart. And it's not just about metabolism. Late-night eating is linked to serious health risks. A study from the American Heart Association found that people who regularly eat after 8 p.m. have a 55% higher risk of heart disease compared to those who finish their last meal earlier in the evening. Another study showed that late-night eaters are 50% more likely to develop type 2 diabetes because of how late meals interfere with insulin regulation. But what about sleep? You may not realize it, but eating late can severely impact your sleep quality. Late meals, especially heavy or sugary foods, can cause acid reflux, heartburn, and restless sleep. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night feeling uncomfortable or needing to drink water, it could be because of what you ate before bed. Now, think about your own routine. how often do you snack before bed? Do you wake up feeling groggy, bloated, or just off in the mornings? These could all be signs that your late-night eating habits are taking a toll on your body. The good news? You can easily fix this habit. Here's what to do. Finish eating at least 3 hours before bed. This gives your body enough time to fully digest your last meal before sleep. If you're hungry late at night, choose a small, protein-rich snack. A handful of nuts, Greek yogurt, or a small piece of cheese can keep you satisfied without spiking your blood sugar. Drink herbal tea instead of reaching for food. Chamomile or peppermint tea can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. So the next time you find yourself reaching for a late-night snack, ask yourself, is this small moment of comfort worth the long-term damage? Making one simple change, shifting your last meal earlier, could protect your heart, improve your sleep, and even add years to your life. Will you take control of your health, or let this silent habit control you? Chronic stress, the silent killer that's aging you from the inside. Stress is a part of life. We all experience it, whether it's from finances, family responsibilities, or health concerns. But what if I told you that chronic stress isn't just making you feel overwhelmed, it's actually shortening your lifespan? Scientists have found that prolonged stress accelerates aging at the cellular level, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of heart disease, strokes, and even Alzheimer's. The worst part? Many people over 60 don't even realize that their everyday worries are silently damaging their health. Take Eleanor, a 73-year-old grandmother who had always been a worrier. She stressed about her kids, her grandkids, and even small things like grocery shopping or the evening news. She often felt tense, had frequent headaches, and her doctor warned her about her rising blood pressure. One day, she suffered a mild stroke. She survived, but her recovery was slow and frustrating. Looking back, Eleanor realized that her constant state of stress had been slowly destroying her health for years. So, what happens to your body when stress becomes chronic? First, your heart suffers. Stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that raises blood pressure, increases blood sugar, and puts extra strain on the cardiovascular system. Over time, this leads to higher risks of heart attacks and strokes. In fact, a Harvard study found that people with high stress levels are twice as likely to die from heart disease compared to those who manage their stress effectively. But the damage doesn't stop there. Stress is also toxic to your brain. High cortisol levels shrink the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. This is why people who experience chronic stress often suffer from brain fog, forgetfulness, and eventually, a higher risk of dementia. Research from the Alzheimer's Association shows that prolonged stress increases the likelihood of cognitive decline by 37%. And let's talk about your immune system. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed, you're more likely to catch a cold or feel run down? That's because stress suppresses immune function, making it harder for your body to fight off illness. Studies show that older adults who experience constant stress take longer to recover from infections and injuries, meaning a simple cold or small wound can become a much bigger problem. Now, ask yourself, how often do you feel tense, overwhelmed, or anxious? If stress is a regular part of your life, it's time to take action, because ignoring it could be cutting years off your lifespan. The good news? You can rewire your body's stress response and reverse some of the damage. Here's how. Practice deep breathing daily. Just 5 minutes of slow, controlled breathing can lower cortisol levels and reduce blood pressure almost instantly. Get moving. Exercise, even gentle activities like walking or stretching, releases endorphins, which help counteract the negative effects of stress. Laugh more. Laughter triggers the release of dopamine, a feel-good hormone that reduces stress and improves mood. Limit negative news and toxic conversations. Constant exposure to bad news or stressful people keeps your brain in a heightened state of anxiety. Protect your peace. Try mindfulness or meditation. Studies show that meditation can reduce stress-related inflammation and even slow down aging at the cellular level. Stress may seem like just a mental burden, but it's actually a physical disease that accelerates aging. The question is, will you let it control you, or will you take control of your own health? The choice is yours. Dehydration, the overlooked habit that's silently aging you. What if I told you that something as simple as not drinking enough water could be silently speeding up your aging process? Many people think dehydration is just about feeling thirsty, but the truth is, chronic dehydration is one of the most overlooked yet dangerous health risks, especially for people over 60. It affects your heart, brain, joints, metabolism, and even your skin, making you age faster from the inside out. Take Richard, a 74-year-old retired teacher. He never felt particularly thirsty, so he only drank a couple of cups of coffee and maybe a glass of water throughout the day. Over time, he started feeling more fatigued, his skin became dry and wrinkled, and he often felt dizzy when standing up too quickly. His family assumed it was just normal aging, until one day, he fainted in his kitchen. At the hospital, doctors found that Richard was severely dehydrated, which had caused a dangerous drop in blood pressure. He was shocked, he hadn't even realized he wasn't drinking enough. So why is dehydration so dangerous? First, it thickens your blood, putting extra strain on your heart. Your blood is 90% water, and when you're dehydrated, it becomes thicker, making your heart work harder to pump it through your body. This increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and even strokes. Research from the European Society of Cardiology found that people who don't drink enough water are up to 54% more likely to develop heart failure as they age. But it's not just your heart, your brain suffers too. Dehydration shrinks brain tissue, which can lead to confusion, forgetfulness, and even an increased risk of dementia. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can cause cognitive decline, reducing focus and memory by up to 30%. If you've ever had a moment where you felt mentally foggy or couldn't find the right words, ask yourself, did I drink enough water today? And then there's your metabolism. Many people over 60 struggle with slow digestion, bloating, or unexpected weight gain. What they don't realize is that dehydration slows down metabolism by up to 20%, making it harder for the body to burn fat and process nutrients efficiently. This is why staying hydrated can actually help with weight control and energy levels, because your body functions better when it's properly hydrated. Now, let's talk about your skin and joints. If you've noticed that your skin is getting drier, more wrinkled, or losing its elasticity, dehydration may be the cause. Water keeps your skin plump and your joints lubricated, but when you're dehydrated, your body pulls water from your skin and cartilage, making wrinkles deeper and joint pain worse. In fact, arthritis symptoms are often worsened by dehydration, making movement more painful. So, how do you know if you're secretly dehydrated? Watch for these signs. Dark yellow urine. Your urine should be pale or clear. Dry skin and lips. If your lips are constantly chapped, it could be a sign. Dizziness or feeling lightheaded. Standing up quickly makes you feel weak. That's dehydration. Fatigue and brain fog. If you're tired all the time, your body might be lacking fluids. Muscle cramps or joint pain. Hydration keeps everything moving smoothly. The good news? This is one of the easiest health risks to fix. Here's what to do. Drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. More if it's hot or you're active. Start your morning with a glass of water before coffee or tea. Eat hydrating foods like cucumbers, watermelon, and oranges. Set reminders. If you don't feel thirsty, use an app or simply drink water with every meal. Many people unknowingly live in a state of chronic dehydration, blaming their symptoms on aging, when in reality, their body is simply crying out for more water. The question is, will you ignore it, or will you make a change today? The choice is in your hands, or rather, in your water glass. Too much sugar, the sweet poison that's silently destroying your body. What if I told you that something millions of people eat every single day is silently destroying their heart, brain, and metabolism? And what if I told you that many people don't even realize they're addicted to it? I'm talking about sugar, one of the most dangerous substances in the modern diet. You might think, I don't eat that much sugar, but here's the shocking truth, even if you don't add sugar to your coffee or eat desserts, it's hidden in over 70% of processed foods, from bread and sauces to so-called healthy snacks. Take Helen, a 71-year-old woman who always prided herself on eating pretty healthy. She didn't drink soda, didn't eat candy, and avoided junk food. But over the years, she developed high blood pressure, gained weight around her waist, and felt increasingly fatigued. One day, after experiencing dizziness, she visited her doctor, only to find out she was on the verge of developing type 2 diabetes. The cause? The hidden sugars in her diet. So, what exactly does sugar do to your body? First, it ages you from the inside out. When you consume too much sugar, it triggers a process called glycation, which damages the proteins in your skin, leading to wrinkles, sagging, and premature aging. This is why people who eat a high-sugar diet often look older than their actual age. But the damage doesn't stop there. Sugar is a major contributor to heart disease. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that people who get more than 20% of their daily calories from sugar have a 38% higher risk of dying from heart disease, even if they aren't overweight. Sugar spikes blood sugar, increases inflammation, and causes fat buildup around the heart, putting you at risk of heart attacks and strokes. And let's talk about your brain. Sugar is one of the leading causes of cognitive decline, increasing the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. In fact, some researchers now call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes because of how closely it's linked to blood sugar issues. Every time you eat excess sugar, your brain experiences a spike in energy, followed by a crash. This damages brain cells and weakens memory over time. Now, let's get personal. How much sugar do you really eat? Think about your daily diet. Do you eat flavored yogurt? Breakfast cereal? Store-bought bread? Bottled sauces or dressings? If so, you might be consuming far more sugar than you realize. The average person eats around 22 teaspoons of sugar per day, even though the World Health Organization recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for optimal health. The good news? You don't have to quit sugar completely, you just need to be smart about it. Here's how to protect your body from sugar's damaging effects. Read labels carefully. Sugar is often hidden under names like high fructose corn syrup, maltose, dextrose, and cane juice. If it's in the first 3 ingredients, put it back. Swap processed foods for whole foods. The best way to control sugar intake is by eating fresh, natural foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Reduce sugary drinks. Sodas, flavored coffee drinks, fruit juices, and even so-called healthy smoothies are loaded with sugar. Stick to water, herbal tea, or black coffee instead. Eat more protein and fiber. These help stabilize blood sugar levels and reduce sugar cravings naturally. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the planet, and food companies know this. They add it to almost everything to keep you coming back for more. But now that you know the truth, you have the power to take control of your health. The question is, will you? The shocking truth, your daily habits are stealing years from your life. Now that you know these 6 dangerous habits, let me ask you something. How many of them are part of your daily life? Maybe you sit for long hours without realizing how much damage it's doing to your heart. Maybe you brush off poor sleep as just a normal part of aging. Maybe you reach for late-night snacks, assuming they're harmless, or you tell yourself that a little sugar won't hurt. But here's the truth, every single one of these habits is slowly stealing time away from you. And the scariest part? You don't feel it happening. Unlike a sudden heart attack or a broken bone, these habits work in the background, wearing down your body little by little, day after day. Then, one morning, you wake up feeling weaker. You notice that climbing the stairs is harder. Your memory isn't as sharp. You look in the mirror and wonder, when did I start aging so fast? That moment doesn't come out of nowhere, it's the result of years of small, seemingly harmless choices that add up. And the worst mistake you can make is to ignore them until it's too late. But here's what I need you to understand. It's not too late to change. You don't have to let these habits control your future. You can start today, right now, by making even the smallest change. Stand up and stretch. Drink a glass of water. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier tonight. Swap one sugary snack for something natural. Because every small change adds up, just like every bad habit does. And the difference? One path leads to a longer, healthier life. The other steals years away before you even realize they're gone. So I'll ask you one last time, what will you do today to protect your future? Your future is in your hands. Now you know the truth, your daily habits are shaping your future. The small choices you make today will decide whether you stay strong, sharp, and independent for years to come, or whether you let time and bad habits steal that future away. But the good news? You are in control. It's never too late to make a change. Even the smallest steps, drinking more water, moving more, improving your sleep, can add years to your life. So tell me, which of these 6 habits surprised you the most? And more importantly, which one are you going to change first? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If this video helped you, make sure to hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more science-backed health tips. And if you want to learn the hidden signs that predict how long you'll live, check out this next video. It might just change the way you see aging forever. See you there.